Welcome and good evening. This is the last presentation of the series about the pinup painting I want to show you. I had already prepared my canvas with the drawing I want to show you later. But at first I want to show you my palette I just prepared here. And so I'm using acrylics in this presentation. This is not really a medium with which I normally paint. The most they know me knowing that I'm painting preferable in oil colors. So this is also new to me, and so I hope that everything will work. And so I've prepared a palette with different colors. So we have here on the left side, we have titanium white, zinc white. This is Hansa yellow light. This is raw yellow ochre, sorry. And this is titan green pale. This is the raw umber. Then we have pearl red. Then on the side below we have naphthallo red light. Then we have a neutral gray. Here we have this is color is Payne's gray, sorry. And then we have cobalt blue and ultramarine light blue. And so this is maybe you're interested in. I'm using the colors from the Open, from the Golden series, and this called Open. It's quite different to the normal acrylics because it's a slow drying acrylics, so it tends to have the same behavior like oil colors. So I'm giving it a try for now. So and maybe I have to add. So I'm not paid by Golden for that. I made some small practice with them, and I think it's really nice to work, and they are really a high quality. So this is what I selected for, and so now you saw my palette, and maybe I show you here for a short moment the drawing we made on the tablet. And so I have overlaid with a grid by 2 by 2 centimeters, and this grid I have used and scaled up by 3 so that each square is 6 by 6. And so we have approximately 85 centimeters by 60 centimeters is the original drawing painting. Then we want to paint. So this is maybe you can see that here. This is what I have prepared for that. And How I made this, I have done in a separate video. The link is in the description below. You can watch it, how I've made this. And if you have some questions for that, so please feel free and yeah, and ask me. So it would be nice to listen to somebody here in the chat, to read some comments or about the sound, about the quality. So it would be really, really helpful. And yeah, I think I'm starting now. So at first I want to use remix me a small a portion of the background color, which I'm using this way. I'm using really a cobalt blue, and just want to paint around the face, so I get the shape around that and figure out all these areas where the sky will be, like in our painting. So our drawing we saw in there's a small picture above. So and so let's see how it works. All right. It's also a nice start that you don't paint on a white surface. So this is what it helps now to figure out the right values later. And there are some different approaches for that, and I'm doing that in this way. And yeah, maybe I'm move it a bit away from me so that I'm not always in the picture, which is not really necessary to see my face in that. You see, I use a fairly large brush. It doesn't matter that I'm coming into the figure, mostly not, especially there where we are not in a really bright area or white area. So can use that. So you can see what I'm doing here on the palette too. This may be helpful. And what's also new to me is to figure out what amount of color I use on my palette. So and see that obviously I have not enough cobalt blue on the palette, so I'm refill it and yeah, and continue. we have here, this is important, the areas where are the small blue areas between the hand and the neck. So this is for later. It's important that these areas are already colored, so it's easier to me that paint later over that. And just to be sure that every portion which the sky shining through, so we will have covered. And this is, by the way, it's a canvas. I gessoed a bit, and I made a charcoal drawing on that with a slightly defined shadow areas. So this helps me paint much quicker. Normally, you see now you can always see these this grid underneath. So, but normally I wouldn't do that with a pencil. I would do that with color. So especially when I know that the background is blue, I would use the grid in a blue color. So that's cannot see it later anymore. For now, we need much more color on that, and the most of the colors aren't opaque, so that shining always through. This gives me right now the possibility to make some corrections with a contour of the face. So I think just when I use the color I have currently on the palette, so then it's okay, because it's a bit boring to see only when I'm coloring the background. It's not really entertaining. So, and nearly done. Oh. All right, maybe a bit more here to have this saturation here in between. I love these colors. They are really high pigmented, and they I get a really nice, brilliant, shiny color. Okay, so for the moment this is enough, and yeah, let's see. All right. This is now done here, and for now I'm starting with the color of the skin, and as we saw in the original drawing, that we have more reddish a reddish tone. So I'm preparing here or mixing a color from yellow ochre using a bit of this Naftello red. And for the dark shapes, I'm using a bit of burnt umber, raw umber, sorry. So, and this is my this is my shadow color, and I'm starting with. And let's see what I can make for that. And just to use my drawing as a guideline on where I have to place the shadows. These are not the darkest ones, so it's you can see them, and I'm fixed, by the way, when somebody has a question about that. I'm fixed the charcoal with a fixative, which is helpful that it's not smudgy. So otherwise I would became a grayish tone. And yeah. That's really pretty different to the oil colors, because normally they are more buttery consistency. So that's what it makes a bit different to me. And yeah, it's new, but I like it to make new experiences, so, and making new things, just to figure out where are my limits. And if I like that, maybe to paint with acrylics, maybe it's something new in my painting repertoire. I'm trying to start to get really coming quickly and losing these to close the white areas, so that I have a foundation from which I can continue. Okay. you see, I'm currently not using any white. I'm just trying to find out the mid values. Normally as in the last videos I explained that I'm really paint with the lightest tones at first, but in this way because I have no experience, I'm starting with the midtones, so this helps me to calibrate everything. Right. Well, that's first time. Feel it okay so. And now I'm starting with more. This is now a mixture between Payne's Gray and Yellow Ochre, which gives me the more greenish dark. Okay. Okay. So I'm coming into a warmer dark, using a bit raw umber additionally for these darkest areas here we have. Okay, this is in the middle here. We have here in these areas here, I have a bit more shadow here in this here of the lower arm. But not too much. Coming to reconfigure these shadow lines here a bit. And only just to close all these white spaces, I'm not the moment not so correct with that, but the only thing is at the moment I want to close all these white spaces just to find important lines and forms. You can see that you can blend really, later on you can really blend the colors a bit, which is helpful for making the transition from light to the shadow much easier to paint in that way. Okay. It's also nice that you can diluting the colors with some water, and it's getting a really transparent behavior, so you can also create your smoother transitions from the light to the shadow. So that's nice here. It tends to be, it brings fun, I have to say. It's really nice, and it feels good to paint with that. Especially the canvas is really dry, so it soaks all the color in, and this is pretty new, but I think this is only a question of practicing and figure out what's best for your style. Okay, so I think this is quite good. And now I have to have a look from behind. Yes, that's nice. So now we have just one area with the darker values, which is in the hand. I'm trying to paint it with the same brush size, but maybe it's a bit way too big. And I see that I forgot something. You can see it maybe too. I forgot to close these little area here with blue. Oh, I'm doing this right now. So that this makes sense. Okay, enough for the moment. Let's go further with the hand. Okay. Good. More shadows and face. I think I need a bit more of this blue to make these contours a bit sharper, that we have a nice and crisp edge. I need to end it with the other hand. All right. So if you have some questions, it's really nice. Ask them. I can interrupt that and can answer your questions so that maybe it helps you for your own style. Or maybe you have some tips for me. You're maybe more advanced in painting with oil colors, which is not a shame to me. It's as I said at the beginning, I'm not really familiar or have a big experience in painting with acrylics, so yeah, that's a good starting point. Good. So for now, now I wanna paint the mask and the bra. So it's the next important portion of that. So yeah, let's see how to get these red color mixed. And I'm not clean with the brushes I already had. So and now I'm using this really cool, this pearl red is really cool, and yeah, just paint it red. That's that's a really weird color. We'll have to look. Maybe it's if this color is the okay. It's fairly transparent. So like the most of the colors are. So I don't have to be so exact because about using that as a transparent color, and I can overlay and overlay to darken it, to correct something, and which has more the shine from watercolor. I use this color really at the moment. Don't use it to mix with them other. This is not currently the main aspect, so I just want to give all these white areas no chance, so that I'm I have the feeling that I'm on the right way with the coloring, which we talked last Thursday, that this is a bit important just to give these typically 50s pin-up style the right look. And yeah, I think this color is really one of these colors they used at that time, like really a shiny bright color. Okay, first one. Okay. Well, in this moment, I'm not really afraid about drawing a bit in the shadow in, so because it helps me to make the shadow a bit darker with a red, get it a reddish tone. So this is for now, I think, right. So, okay. So I think it's time for a small view from some meters away from the painting, so that I see that everything is in that way I hope it should be, and yeah, I think that's okay for the first layer. So we now I want to start to setting some highlights, which are also important for the form. This is some cleaning my brushes, and yes, so now start again using yellow ochre, bit of titanium white, not too much, just a bit. And the next lighter values where are obviously here and here. Oh, it's maybe a bit too light for that area, but we can correct this. Okay. Sometimes I have a look on my reference. This helps me to clear out all these values right. And in the area where it's really light isn't much, so I'm setting this directly because I can smooth it out until the color is really wet enough. So I think that I can of course I can correct it anyway. So, but to find these really bright and shiny areas at first. So now we have some, we said we have defined some more rosy color I'm using now. Maybe a bit more. So the color is coming overlaid a bit. It shines really like watercolor at the moment because I'm using it really very diluted with water, and just to using a bit from this. Pearl red is getting a cooler, rosy tone. Make it a bit more yellowish. Yeah, I think I should have some music in the background, and maybe helps me to have a better flow. Just try to start a bit of music in the background. Just a second. Okay, I think that this music is a bit better when I not talk, that you don't have the feeling that the stream is sleeping, or maybe I'm away from the board, so that's yeah. Okay. I hope the music is not too loud. So if you are too dark, so you can wait a bit and go over with a bit lighter color, not with white. Maybe you're using an orangey way, or maybe you can use, when you use white, then only think white, which is by its behavior more transparent, so it's not too flashy when you're highlight it up. So that's nice here. And now we're going there with the shadow. Be a bit more aggressive with that. I'm using now in the combination, I'm using Payne's Gray, which is normally a bit, yeah, it's a bluish tint, and we're getting a more violet or the red, so that this should fits our idea. So that's here also. And the same, of course, because it's the same fabric in the face, the mask in the face. So I think just to get a more opaque shine or tint in that way. You can see that's pretty nice. Yes. Okay. So this is now, at first we have the first initial coloring, or maybe we're doing the bath cap 2. I think I use another brush for that, and I just use neutral gray with a bit of the blue, just a bit, and start to paint the bathtub in its first color layer. Okay. Yes, so that's that's how it should be. A bit blue. Maybe I can going on the edges here, so that we're getting always transparent. But this I don't know now. I don't like that in this way. It would be grayish. So as I said, we want to paint the bathtub in the style like the coronavirus looks like. It's maybe it's not really a nice one, but it's or an virus which is dangerous for all of us. But it's interesting how these are looking under the microscope. There are really some nice coloring, obviously, and like if you look in the nature, most of the dangerous animals are having a really blurrish coloring, like especially when you're looking at the sea. And you watch for all these dangerous and fishes and corals and whatever is, and qual. I don't know what the word is for. No, I don't know the word for that. Sorry. They are pretty dangerous. So for now this is okay. So now we are starting to redefine our dark areas. So we're using a bit of raw umber, a bit Payne's gray, I'm starting to paint more the darkest values here again. Just to redefine these. I'm painting now completely with my left hand, but sometimes when it's get more and more into detail, I tend to use my right hand. I think this is related to my early years when I go to school and I was naturally left-handed, and the teachers at this time don't accept that. You have to learn to write with your to write with your right hand, and this is maybe the price for that I'm doing some stuff with right and some stuff with the left one. It's sometimes confusing, but I can say that normally I don't have to think about what I'm doing with which hand. It's a kind of spontaneous reaction, and or drawing a bit of the transitions. Or this way it's painting or drawing. And this is sometimes a moving or not so moving question for that. Is it painting or is it drawing? Sometimes it's both. You can draw with a paint and sometimes you can paint with a material which is normally made for drawing, like charcoal or some other, or pastel, which is, can use it as a pen, like a pen, but it's drawing, by the way. And this are sliding formulation. Mixing a bit color again. And use a bit of this, not really white. It's a bit greenish, and it's makes the color now a bit opaque. So that's you can see it's a warm, really a warm color now. I don't know that it's possible to see that over the net. So, but for me, it's a warm greenish gray now. Which is a nice contrast to the red. We used on now already the whole time, and yeah. As you see here, I can correct these values where I've painted wrong, so it's okay to do that, correct it, and let it a bit, give them a chance to dry a bit, just a bit, come back later. And maybe it's here now, not more correct, but here this line is better. So I want to change that in another session.